my friends. Today we have Colin Davis on the show. Do you know this name? I did not know this name. It's funny, when he was leaving the studio, I was like, we need like a billboard or like a website with every single artist in this city on it, so that with like their little handle on Instagram, so we can go get them. Because I love this podcast for so many reasons, and one of the main ones is that I find new people all the time. His artwork. It's interesting because we sat down. First thing I said to him, it's horrible. I was like, "Hey, Colin, so a lot of your work disturbs me." It does. Not really disturbs, but just kind of there was a visceral reaction. There was something. There was something interesting and then off-putting all at once. I couldn't stop looking. It's exquisite. His stuff is really, really interesting. Very modern. A lot of modern little bits thrown into there. Anyways, yes, Colin Davis on the show. He has a really interesting store on Fraser called Good Atlas. It was split into 3 sections, which you'll hear on the podcast. He lets us know. So anyways, let's get into it. If you're an artist, maybe you're just a budding artist, maybe you're going to get some art supplies at Christmas this year and dive into it in 2026. All right, before we get into talking with Colin, we have to thank one of our major sponsors, Source for Sports, right over there on Fisher Street. Anything you need for sports, go talk to Paul and the gang over there. They got you covered. Thank you so much for your continued support. Let's get into it. I'm Lisa Boivin, and this is To North Bay with Love.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way.
Colin Davis. So I never know, I never know how to begin these things, because I'm always like, you don't want to go into the questions like, why did you start to paint? Or why are you an artist? But I guess I'm just going to throw in a bomb here, because I was creeping you yesterday. I was looking at your Instagram and your art, your paintings. I'm going to say a lot of it, I don't want to use the word disturbed me, but a lot of it made me kind of uneasy. And do you get that kind of reaction from people, or do you welcome that reaction, or do you want to do stuff that pushes the envelope? Because there was things that were but I liked it. I liked it, but I was oh, why is this making me a little bit that's, whoa. One in particular. Where is it? Figure with green tarp.
Oh yeah.
It was so, for people listening, and maybe we can get that picture or something and put it up while if people are watching it. But I don't know if it was a mannequin or if it was meant to be a body, but it was just kind of in this basement with this tarp. And I don't know. It was a little bit
this
Dateline.
Floating green figure.
Yeah.
Kind of obscured in a garage. Yeah, I like these.
So there's that, but it was it struck me, and I think it's okay. I personally, I painted a lot when I was a kid. I took lessons and stuff. I did a lot of oil. I've done acrylic, and I think it's cool when not everybody just kind of goes, oh, nice painting. When there's something, it's there was some kind of a visceral reaction. I looked at it and I was like, whoa, what is this about? Okay.
Yeah, the painting is such a diverse medium to explore. There's all these different avenues you can go down, and the kind of painting that I really like is the broadest term is called contemporary painting, where you're trying to explore something new or novel, or investigate something, or be in dialogue with something in culture or in the world. So when I'm painting, I like to explore these themes of northern and rural, these kind of garages, sheds, alone in nature, those kind of feelings.
Yeah.
So it's funny, you were just saying that you grew up snowmobiling and in the bush, and that's the kind of environment that I like to pull these stories out of.
Yeah. There was a post, I think, of your new space, and I noticed on the canvas in the background was a painting, I assume, of a skidoo.
Yeah.
And I do notice a lot of there's a lot of themes of that, of like ice fishing, of hunting, fishing, outdoors. But then there's really interesting, like a juxtaposition of, I think there was one of the paintings with those 3 claw marks. Is that from like a Monster drink or something?
Yeah.
Like that's what I find so kind of, I don't know if it's jarring or just kind of something that, it just kind of sparks something, right? Because you're like, oh, look, it's a lovely landscape, and then there's something like really like modern, like you said. There's that kind of mix of like the naturalism, and then like something from the city or something like really pop culture-y just kind of thrown in there. And so it's just this weird mix of like, I just find it really interesting.
Yeah, I think the most successful paintings give you kind of clues as to what the narrative is, or what the symbols or themes are, and the viewer just gets this kind of gut feeling of what they're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Rather than, the artist holding your hand and walking you through every little thing.
Right.
So I think by adding all this different imagery, all these little symbols, eventually you just kind of understand it deep down.
Yeah. And is it important for you for people to understand all of your paintings, or are you kind of like letting them just like, it's subjective and it's just kind of take what you will from it, like with these clues?
I think you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't get it, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, but the people that are open and interested, you think of listening to music or watching a movie. While you're watching a movie, you're not thinking every second, what does this mean? Right. What am I trying to feel, or what am I supposed to feel?
Yeah.
You just feel it.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens with art. People talk about the opacity of contemporary art and how it's hard to understand, and you have to read all this text and have all this institutional knowledge, and really you don't. You can just walk into a gallery and you can just feel something and let the artist take you on their journey.
Man, yeah. I love that, because I think that's maybe what stops people from kind of exploring, maybe going to galleries more often and stuff.
Yeah.
And, I know you had an exhibit at the WKP Kennedy Gallery here. Was that September of this year, September, October, or was that a couple of years ago? I just saw the post.
Yeah, that was
okay.
a while ago.
Yeah, but that's a gallery right downtown here in North Bay, and I bet you a lot of people don't want to go in because I don't know if it's pop culture that did this, movies, whatever, but there seems to be some kind of heightened language that you have to use, or you have to be, this connoisseur, almost like you have to be a sommelier to drink wine, but you don't, and so I love that you said that, you can walk into any gallery, anybody can walk in there, and you don't need to be like a PhD in art history. You can go in and be affected by something you're seeing, which I love, because I was definitely affected by all of your work. I thought it was not only gorgeous, especially I think it's incredible when people can do, like you did, a self-portrait of yourself and these beautiful commissioned works of humans. And then you can also do beautiful landscapes and stuff. Like I can't draw a human or an animal if you paid me. Like I stick to mountains. I don't know. I think they're easier, but the precision and the, especially if you're being commissioned by people to do a portrait. Like, how is that? That must be kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of commissions before I moved up here. people, but mostly pets. So a lot of dogs and cats.
Yeah, there's one named Marcy.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like a white kind of shepherd looking
Yeah.
dog. But the painting, I mean, what struck me right away was her eyes. She has like blue eyes, this little Marcy. And you captured the light, like they're like, it's like glass, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's how she would look with light on it. Like I always find light so incredibly interesting in paintings. And I thought, wow, like you just captured that beautifully. Are you from Toronto?
Yeah, I'm from Scarborough.
Okay.
And my partner and I moved here in 2018. She's from Timmins. So
Yay.
now we're halfway.
Yay. I know,
which is
exactly.
great.
Yeah, for sure. And so, and then when did you come to North Bay? Like, why did you just
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being two artists we were living downtown for a while, downtown Toronto.
Okay.
There's sometimes it feels like a lot of pressure from the city of trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money-wise, job-wise. I had this grand idea where I was working 3 or 4 jobs at a time in Toronto. I thought, oh yeah, we'll move north and I'll work less and I'll paint more. Didn't work out that way. I work more than ever now. But a lot of the draw was a little bit of fresh air and space in the schedule and of course nature. But yeah, being closer to Timmins family is great too. Now it's a quick drive up or it's a quick drive to Toronto.
Yeah. And with the highways now, I mean, it's great. I feel the same way about Toronto. I mean, I grew up in Timmins and I just never got Toronto, I think. It was kind of, I feel like I'd be standing on the subway platform and I'd be like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't know. I just didn't get it. You know, I feel like everybody was going left. I was going right. I just didn't. It's fun to visit. I think it's a great place to visit. But yeah, there's something about a small city, a small community where 5 minutes down the road, you can be in Laurier Woods. You can be up behind Nipissing in the woods. Something about the woods that I need. Yeah.
And I was never a commuter, but having no traffic, I think people that come up here to work, to do contracts, that's a huge quality of life improvement.
Oh, for sure.
Never experiencing traffic again.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I know. You have to leave your house like an hour and a half before you need to be somewhere. Yeah, it's crazy. You now have an art supply store. Is that how you would describe it? It's called Good Atlas.
Yeah.
Where'd the name come from?
So my partner and I started 2 years ago. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. And the origin of the space evolved a bit while it was happening, the very beginning stages. So to be fully honest, we didn't have a solid idea of what was going to be filling the space.
Love that.
So we needed a name that, when I was in business class in college, I went to art school, but we had a business class.
Smart.
And in that class, one of the takeaways that I remember is having your name not be tied to a specific thing. So, for example, you wouldn't call yourself Colin, the artist who paints cats.
Yeah.
Because maybe in 5 years, I don't want to paint cats anymore.
Right.
So the name was intentionally nebulous, but we knew that it was going to be about bringing products in from all over, curating, offering a guiding hand in what can be sometimes kind of a complicated process of making art or discovering how to make art. And so Atlas is a been an iconic part of our childhood, like flipping through atlases, flipping through map books, like the tangible before Google Maps, learning about space, our environment, where we live, where we're going. And the space evolved from, originally we were looking at some buildings that were perfect for shared studio space.
Okay.
So this would be private and semi-private artist studios
Right.
for painters, drawers, sculptors, that kind of thing, with shared utilities, shared workshop space. But then the space that we ended up landing on Fraser Street, it's public facing, and it just made sense for it to have a public component to it.
Yeah.
And when we walked into the space, it was already physically split up into 3 sections.
Okay.
So the front, we did a full gut reno, but we kept the layout, the physical layout. And the front of it is a stationery and art supply retail space. The middle is a small contemporary art gallery. And then the back is still studio space.
We often talk about the rhythm of life in North Bay. For Amanda, that rhythm was fast. Hockey practices, baseball games, juggling a full-time career, and keeping up with 2 energetic boys. But life hit pause after routine surgery led to a call she never expected. Stage 2 breast cancer. No symptoms, no warning. Suddenly, Amanda was facing a double mastectomy, reconstruction, weeks of chemotherapy and radiation treatments, and several additional surgeries. The path ahead was overwhelming. Through every stage, one question stayed with her. How do I keep being mom for my boys? Amanda's care team at the North Bay Regional Health Center made all the difference. They understood how deeply she wanted to hold on to familiar routines, cheering from the stands, being there at bedtime, staying present in the moments that gave her strength. Their compassion kept her connected to the 2 people who kept her fighting. She stayed present, she stayed grounded, she stayed mom. This holiday season, help ensure patients have access to the exceptional care they need during life's most challenging moments. Your gift helps patients like Amanda stay connected to the people they love while strengthening healthcare for families across our region. Visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give.
How often do you have like a show like in the gallery, or like do you?
Our shows run about 6 weeks at a time. So we had one that we launched just before Christmas Walk. We had the opening on Christmas Walk by a Sudbury artist named Sarah Dempsey.
Okay.
And that's been in for the remainder of the year. And then in the new year, we have to redo the walls, patch holes, repaint. And then the next show, usually about 6 weeks or so at a time.
Okay. How do people, like, do they audition to have a show there, or do they show you like a portfolio? Like, how does it happen?
So mostly people have a body of work,
Right.
which they can come in or email us, and we'll have a discussion about what a show might look like. So the best thing to do is to look at the gallery, the past shows, and decide for yourself whether your work fits in with this kind of work.
That kind of vibe, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we aren't generally showing the same stuff as other galleries. We have a certain kind of vision. We like for it to be contemporary, which is kind of a strange term, but a helpful way to think about it is that something about the work is new or evolving or in dialogue. So if you have contemporary work, especially if you're a Northern Ontario artist, or you're making work about Northern themes, there is a submission page, or like a submission section on our website.
Awesome.
It guides you through everything and shows you a layout of the gallery.
Okay.
It's a unique space. It's 10 by 10. which is very small. It's like you walk in and you're in this kind of like jewelry box or something.
Yeah, like a little Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, it's fully enclosing you.
Yeah.
And it's the same dimensions as those market tents, the 10 by 10 market tents.
Okay.
Which a lot of artists have experience doing,
Right.
putting on those outdoor shows themselves.
Yeah.
But it's a very different feeling because there's solid walls and
Right.
like adjustable lighting and everything.
Nice. When do you think you're going to have a show? Sometime soon? Because I would like, I mean, I am new to your work, but I feel like everybody in North Bay should see your work. Like, it's really interesting. It's really
Thanks.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, my last show was in Thunder Bay, which was a bit of a drive for people.
Little bit. Okay.
So I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have a gallery in our space, and I'll do something in the new year.
Yeah. Okay, good. And yeah, many kind of galleries around town too, right? Like that you might be able to kind of, that's really interesting. Okay, I have to ask you just about your, like, do you have a favorite medium?
Yeah, I work mostly in oil paint. It's very versatile. You can use it in different ways.
Yeah.
I teach a course called Contemporary Methods and Materials where I encourage the students to paint with found objects. So there's people with toothbrushes and forks and
Yeah.
squeegees and whatever they find
Yep.
you can paint with. But it's also, of course, people think of oil paint, they think of classical painting, like
Yeah. Renoir,
Smooth
Monet.
rendering.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Impressionists and stuff. But oil is amazing, and it's forgivable too. I think people who do watercolor are a little bit crazy. I think there's something a little unhinged because, you put the color on and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a lot of time. Whereas, I don't know, oil, there's something almost like you can get it, like it's a bit of sculpting you can do too, right? Depending if you're using a knife or if you're, creating these different layers or like you said, using modern objects to kind of put in there and paint over maybe and keep on the canvas or, just different things that you can do, and you have a little more time to think about stuff. And like, it's interesting because I was looking, there was one picture that I saw, it's called A Pile Shrine. One of your paintings with it's got beautiful cedar on it. And you say in your post, you say it's a breakthrough piece for you because it was more painting and less study. So I just wonder, like, when you're doing a painting, or is the reason you're doing a painting is because you're working it out in your mind, like you're studying it and you're figuring it out as you're painting it, or
I don't remember what I meant by that because I think maybe you scrolled pretty far back on my Instagram.
Okay.
That was a piece from my first solo show. I don't even remember, maybe 2015, 2016.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I remember that piece being important. It was actually when we were living downtown, and the whole series was about I would go on these walks downtown and I'd gather what little nature I could find. So I was walking around with like sticks and logs and stuff in my arms. And then I bring it home and I construct it into these kind of diorama maquette things and paint these constructed layers of branches, basically.
Yeah.
And it was imagining that these objects that were so out of place in downtown life had some vitality still in them, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I loved that piece because as soon as I saw it, it immediately reminded me of home. Like there was like cedar branches in there, and I think maybe some pine, or it was white pine, but there was just like, and the little rocks and sticks. And I mean, growing up in the 80s, we were wild, right? We were outside. We were like little gremlins outside all the time. And that was a huge part of it. There's actually a tree just over on the corner here. I think it's big white pine. And every time I pass it, I'm like, so there was something like that immediately jumped out at me at that painting. And then just reading that it was kind of a breakthrough for you, which was, that was kind of cool, There's another portrait that it's called Descended from Friends. Which is, was that the soldier?
Fiends.
Yeah. Oh, from Fiends. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Why did I read Friends? Okay, Descended from Fiends. And he's got kind of like a camo, like kind of like that, but then he has like the chainmail over him as if he's like, yeah, I just, again, the modern with the not so modern, and that's oil on linen.
Mm-hmm.
How is that
linen,
painting on linen as opposed to like a canvas?
Linen's a really nice product. It's been used for centuries, but it's stronger than cotton canvas. It stretches a little bit less. It's a little more sturdy. It's a little more archival too. The thing I really like about it is you think of linen, you think of this organic kind of texture. Like you can actually see kind of the fibers a little bit.
Yeah.
And that makes more of a natural looking surface as opposed to the a lot of cotton canvas you get. It has this very regular rhythm of dots in it, which most people aren't getting an inch away from a painting, but if you do, it might take you out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the linen, it's more expensive, but it has a more of a natural kind of almost like this white noise texture to it.
Right. Yeah. If I'm using a canvas, I use as a gesso, and I just like slather that all over it, kind of like it's almost like a plaster that you can put over it. Because I don't like that. I don't like that kind of texture coming through. I just like to have something a lot more. Just more clean, I guess, like for it. But and you can also kind of play with it. Again, I like the whole like depth you get to it. You can like mold it and stuff. But that's cool. So when you're painting on it, it's stretched though.
Yeah.
Like So do you buy it like in a cloth, kind of, or like in a
just in a big roll?
A big roll, and then you can just put it and you stretch it yourself and make it as big as you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rolls are about 8 feet tall, maybe less, 7 feet. And like 15 feet long, 16 feet long.
That's a lot of painting.
So you get a lot of,
going.
you get a lot of painting out of it.
Okay, the last thing I need to ask you about is you got some nudes on there. You got some nudes. You got some, so you're doing some live nude. How, like, okay, and everybody, as soon as I say that, I'm sure everybody's picturing like Titanic right now with Rose and Jack. When she's like, paint me Jack. And she's
which I've still never seen. Makes me a bad
I think
millennial.
it was like an anniversary. I think, was it like 25 years or something anniversary? I don't know. But anyways, that's like the first kind of thing I think, in, my generation was like, oh my God. But I know that people do in the city, people do this, right? Like it's a job that you can get paid to be, a live person. You just sit, or they ask you to stand or sit or whatever. How is that, like, do you prefer painting something live, or do you paint solely from your mind, or do you have a reference picture, or like or all of the above? Like,
the best thing for people is to have the experience painting from life.
Why?
So
how come?
The challenge is very different. Most people will paint from a photo.
Right.
But when you're painting from life, whether it's landscape or figure or still life, you're constantly moving and the subject is moving. So you're actually seeing something in 3 dimensions. So even if you aren't intending to, you're seeing the side of an object. You're seeing how the light is affecting, a round shape or a square shape. From a photo, everything has been flattened for you.
Right.
It's all been turned into pixels, and you can't necessarily tell where one form ends or what's happening behind the edge when that form ends. Not to get too technical, but the idea is that you learn as much as you can by painting from life. And then when you go to reference from photo, you don't have to just copy the thing that's been flattened by a camera and a computer screen. You understand intuitively what's happening behind those edges.
Yeah.
So those paintings that you're talking about, that was a group of us would get together every Saturday, and we'd paint a model every Saturday for 5 hours.
Wow.
And I did that for a few years. But yeah, the models in Toronto, there's enough schools and there's enough groups like us that it's a full-time professional job for a lot of them.
Wow.
You'll go to a school and you'll pose for 3 classes, like 3 hours each class. So it's a long day of posing.
No kidding. Yeah.
You might be going to Sheridan and then Seneca and then like across the city. And it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of work. But artists can't learn in the same way without the models. So.
Yeah. It's funny. I went to Sheridan actually for music theater. That's fun. But when I came back here and I went back to school to Canadore, and I had an art class, and I loved my teacher, and she said something that really stuck with me. It stuck with me forever. And we were doing faces, like a face, right? And she said most people don't draw a face properly. Like they put the face up, they put the eyes up here, right? And she's like, no, like most of your face is a forehead, and then and I was like, oh my God. And so we were talking, anyways. But she said, draw what you see, not what you think. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, that would be, I guess, exactly what you would do when you'd have a model in front of you, right? You'd have to draw like what you see. Don't think about a shoulder. Draw what you see on the shoulder, you know. Mm-hmm. And so it was just, that was something that stuck with me. That'd be cool. I think it would be like interesting to be a model. And then you'd have your portrait everywhere. Yeah, you're like, oh yes, there I am in this gallery, and yes, there I am there. But anyways, okay. Well, this was awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was great to chat, and we'll put the link, like your website, on. We can put it like at the bottom of the show, and I really, really hope to see all your paintings.
Thanks.
At a gallery soon, because they're really interesting.
Just follow Good Atlas or Good Atlas Gallery, and I'll announce it when I've decided the show is ready. Okay. That's the flexibility of having your own gallery, is you can set the deadlines a little bit.
That's right. And I mean, I would gather that must be a little bit of a challenge too as an artist, right? To stop a painting and just say, okay, that's enough. It's over. I can't do any more. Yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise you'd paint your entire life on one painting, I guess. You could just keep doing it over and over.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks.
Colin was so interesting to talk to. I also loved talking about the difference between painting from a person, like painting like live, or painting, from a picture. I just loved his explanation about that. So interesting, man. Like I said, we need like a website that lists everybody, because I'm always finding new people. I'm definitely going to go check out his tiny little gallery there, the 10 by 10. I think it's so intimate, it's so interesting, and you're not going to see pieces there that are necessarily in some of the other galleries around town. He's kind of a specific flavor. So yeah, if you're into that flavor, check him out on Instagram. You can follow Good Atlas or follow Colin Davis, and check out his stuff. It's absolutely beautiful. Hey, while you're checking that out, go to our website, northbayecho.ca. Head over there. You can sign up for our newsletter, Echo Essentials. You can check out all the other podcasts that are available on this network. They're awesome too. And hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm Lisa Boivin, and this is it. This is going to be like this is our second last show before the new year. We have one coming out on the 30th, but anyways, Merry Christmas, y'all. Until next time, much love, North Bay.